was going to do a really enthusiastic opening, but I won't. Instead, I guess I'll introduce who's with me today. It's Glen and Kevin, two very cool people.
That was possibly the lamest intro you could have fucking done. Congratulations.
You fucking say that
because
every
it
time,
was.
mate.
What do you?
But yeah, you're probably
It's
right
like
that time.
It's like you starting the presentation to the fucking high school class. You doing an English lesson on Romeo and Juliet. Like, what the fuck was that?
Okay, it was pretty pathetic.
I thought there was. I assumed there would be more
excited.
thought put into it than hey, hello.
I wanted to start with, like, not a story, but something that happened to me today, but I wasn't quite sure how to roll into it,
Well,
so I
be
guess
the
I'll start
storyteller.
now.
Get around the campfire and say it.
Yeah, I'll gather around, guys. I've got a story to tell you. So today, I went to possibly my favourite establishment in the UK.
Tesco.
I'm sure
it's
Kevin
fucking
can guess
Tesco,
what
isn't
is. Yeah, it's fucking
Okay.
Tesco. Yes, it is. I went to Tesco today. I was browsing through the aisles, looking, picking up some food, my pork chops, my
Yeah, as the
various,
average UK citizen does. Yeah.
Yeah, picking up my rice and, well, I feel like most average UK people aren't picking up what I pick up, but you get the point. I was at Tesco, and, I reached the Blu-ray aisle, and I don't know if you know this, Glenn, I don't know if I've told you this, but fucking Tesco is, the most British supermarket there is. There's literally posters everywhere, like, buy British food or get the fuck out. It's kind of like that kind of message. There's British flags everywhere. It's very pro-British cuisine and food. So I get to the Blu-ray aisle, and there, sitting between, like, I can't remember what it was, two random movies, I see Slime Season 1, and that blew my mind, because I've never seen anime in Tesco, like, ever, in the merchandise section, or, anyway, it blew my mind, like, because you don't really see anime anymore, since, like, HMV went under in the UK, you just don't see them. I was shocked to see it in Tesco.
That is weird that it's also Slime and not, like, a more popular show. I mean, Slime is kind of popular in, like, in the anime community, I guess, but, like, if we're talking about the UK, you have to be, like, the most popular anime of, the cream of the crop.
Exactly.
Why is it Slime, of all things?
Did you confront the manager?
Yeah.
Did you ask them why Slime and not Attack on Titan Season 3?
I did not. I was too scared to interact.
I would have walked straight up to the
anyone
cutest
at that
cash
moment.
register girl and
Yeah,
been like,
yeah,
hey,
just bring it up.
I would
What
have
the fuck is this?
slammed it down and been like, I would like Season 1 of I Want to Be a Slime. And you know what she'd do? She'd probably like fall in love with me instantly. Because that has to be the most attractive person in the world who buys Slime Season 1 at a Tesco. As you can tell, I've had many girlfriends in my life.
Yeah, it comes off pretty clear. But yeah, no, I just I just thought it was crazy, and it got me thinking, how far we've come as
Okay,
Here we go, it's finally the segue, the long-ass segue.
We've come so far as the human race that we have anime and Tesco. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yes. No, I mean, like, if you guys remember what it was like being an anime fan back in 2013, because we were all anime fans back in 2013, and, like, our high school years being an anime fan, it was like, if I got outsed as an anime fan in high school, right, you'd be, like, bullied for the next 3 years without fail. But now it's like, you walk into Tesco and they got
Maybe if
Slime
you're a
on
loser.
Blu-ray. No, mate, it does not matter. You like anime, and it's over for you in British
I got bullied.
high school.
I got bullied not because I liked anime. Well, actually, I was on the basketball team. I got bullied because I fucking was fat. And then I told them I liked anime, so it got worse.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh god.
But I mean, things have changed for sure. It's definitely moved more towards anime. You see anime as a regular human being, and you don't immediately get disgusted or grossed out. I mean, a lot of people probably still do, but people don't look at the drawings and think, oh, that's lame. It's like, my stepdad, for fuck's sake, he mostly watches anime now. He doesn't watch, he's not gonna sit down and watch the latest episode of Kaguya-sama or anything, but he's watching Attack on Titan or whatever else just has mindless action type stuff.
Yeah.
It's normie now. Anime is normie. I don't.
That's kind of what I was getting to. It does feel like it's become
the
a
most
normal,
popular
acceptable
shows
thing in society. Yeah.
There's a culture of degeneracy, but for the most part, that's when it comes to any hobby. There's always going to be this niche subset of people who are weird about it. But anime, for the most part, is just normal.
Yeah, like us, we're pretty weird about it, but we'll keep that for the personal calls.
That's if you go down the rabbit hole. But yeah, anime, like, definitely in the past, like, 10 years, it's just like all the more popular stuff has become just seen as just like regular TV shows as akin to like Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, things like that, right? They're just TV shows now.
I don't know if I'd go that. I don't know if I'd go that far. There's still
it is. Like Attack on Titan, I think is like really akin to like Game of Thrones.
It's reached
popularity.
That level. Attack on Titan has, like, and a few other shows, but.
Well, that's what I mean. Is it's just a subset of popular media. It's not that anime itself has become accepted. It's that when there's something that is more Western in its values, it does tend to take off.
Yeah, but it's
like if something. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like different now. Even like when did Sword Art Online come out? Was that
2012?
It's late.
Well, it was 2012. Okay, I thought it was later than that. But like when that came out and that was big on the scene, it still felt like a very isolated incident within the community. You know, and although there were people coming in who like started from Sword Art Online, when that happened, it was very different to say stuff that's come out. I can't think of an example, but I know there's been in like Demon Slayer, stuff like that. Feels like
Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia.
Yeah, and you like hear it like
Gross.
when I was like making my Demon Slayer video for QuickTaku, there was like celebrities were like shouting out and stuff. And I know there's been past examples of that before, but with like Samuel Jackson and stuff. But it was just weird. It's changed so much, and it's been such a quick change as well. Yeah.
I guess it is that a lot of people aren't afraid to say, I like this specific anime. But the thing is, I feel like a lot of people still aren't going to call themselves anime fans. They're not going to be like, yo, I love anime. Because there's still too much independence on a lot of the media. That's why I like a lot of anime, is that a lot of anime is adaptations, or even original projects that are written by basically one or two people who just kind of put their thing into it, and then it gets created into an anime, and they don't really change that much most of the time. So there's just a lot of weird shit that this specific person likes, this specific person finds interesting, and then, you know, you compare it to like Attack on Titan or something like that, and I don't want to say that, I always forget the name of that guy who wrote it, Araki or something.
Hajime Isayama.
Isayama. I don't want to say that becoming popular media changed it drastically, but it kind of did. Like, I mean, the guy even came out and said, I changed the ending because Attack on Titan became popular. He came out and said that in like 2013 when Attack on Titan was airing. And you come to realize that when something is popular, they make it kind of safe. Like, a lot of people come in and be like, we're making a lot of money on this. You can't do this. You're not allowed to have the sister fuck the brother. You can't do that. You're not allowed, all right?
Yeah.
And that's not a normal show even before it's popular.
No, but it's an interesting one. That's the thing, is it's not, anime isn't normie, but some of it is.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say most of the Shonen Jump stuff has become that, where a lot of the Shonen Jump franchises have become basically reiterations of what used to be popular, and they don't really do anything new. They just focus on what they know works.
Yeah, that's why I don't like a lot of shonen anime, because they are just like regurgitations of themselves, just like in different packages.
Yeah, there's nothing to discuss there. It's like look at Game of Thrones, look at any popular media, look at Avatar, look at not Avatar the Airbender, but like Avatar, the most popular fucking movie ever, and that sort of stuff. It's like it leaves no cultural impact. And, you know, I can't say that a show like Sono Bisdal leaves cultural impact, but in a specific subset of people and the specific subset of the genre that is, you know, romantic comedy and anime, it kind of does. But then you look at something like Attack on Titan, it's like, Attack on Titan's over? Is anyone gonna talk about it still? Not really.
I think it'll be remembered as like, you know, when people like, because in 2012, like 2013, when we got into anime, right, people would talk about the classics. They would talk about Code Geass, Death Note. I think that's the way we talked about.
It'll be remembered because it's popular, just like a lot of Western media. It's like no one talks about Game of Thrones because it was good. No, I mean Attack on Titan was more popular in 2013, I think. Honestly. During that
in
one
2013
than
the final season. I don't know. I think the final season just like reached way more than just like.
I think for sure Attack on Titan hasn't grown in popularity. I think a lot of the people sticked around, but I don't think Attack on Titan became a project that reached many new fans.
I think it did. I think it did for final season.
It would reach new people, but a lot of them dropped off. And I mean, it's pointless to discuss something like that, so I don't know why I am, because you can't really determine that. But personally, in 2013, I definitely feel as though Attack on Titan had a stronger foothold as a popular media gigantic project than it does now.
Yeah.
Or did recently for its final season.
I don't know, maybe just different memories, just because I guess we weren't that online in 2013, we were just starting. Now I'm like...
I was very online.
In 2013 I wasn't yet, because I was still in like last year high school. I was still like last year high school, you know, I was still doing all my... being a good boy style and doing all that shit. But, no, yeah, in the more recent years, when you're an online person, you just see it everywhere, I think. Or that's my experience with AOT final season.
Okay, good to know. Good to know that you're wrong. So anyways.
Nah, sure.
I think that's an interesting discussion. I wasn't prepared to have that discussion, but I don't know if there's anything more you want to add to that, because I'm already kind of bored of it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we dragged it on long enough. Maybe we should talk about the shows we've been watching, as we are an anime podcast.
What have you been watching, Russ?
Well, that's an interesting question, because I was going through my Kitsu, and I'm surprised at how little I've actually watched. But I will mention one thing. I've watched a little bit of the show. I've watched enough to talk about it. Have you seen any of the anime Slow Loop, Glen, that came out last season? Oh, well,
yeah,
I guess
I like
is it still currently this season? Yeah.
Not technically, but Slow Loop's good.
Yeah, I just love the energy it presents, you know, through, like, one girl who comes along and she's, like, not really into fishing. Well, not at all, really. She's just, like, at the beach, through coincidence, meets a girl who likes fishing, and they bond through that hobby, but also just the common... I'm trying, because I've only watched 4 episodes, and I haven't gone back to it since, so it's been about 6 weeks. But I'm pretty sure the setup, is that... one of the girls is her mother is remarrying, and it's to the father of the other girl, right, who she meets at the beach. Is that correct?
Yeah.
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 So it's a very I don't think
it's an interesting character dynamic between. Yeah. It's not something you expect from this, because it is slice of life type of cutesy type stuff, but there's a lot of humanity in it, especially when it comes in that regard. I thought that was what hooked me immediately, was the fact that it was basically. I mean, it's a situation that a lot of people deal with. Like, my parents divorced, so I found it interesting. Having a completely new family, basically, just come in, and you have to learn how to deal with them, and that sort of thing. It was interesting. It's not like... And it's not as though, just because it was a cutesy show, it didn't do anything with that. It didn't just introduce it and be like, oh, they're all happy. No, they're not. They're not.
Yeah.
Like,
it felt surprisingly mature for, like, the art style and, like, everything.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. It was...
There's a lot of elements of life that require privacy, you know?
Yeah.
And I think especially that's hobbies. So I feel like the point of it all was that introducing others to what you're really passionate about, introducing them to your hobby, getting them involved, is a lot better than just doing in it yourself. Because as much as I enjoy just being a fucking anime-ass loser visual novel manga, light novel, just jerking off to anime girls all fucking day and just being in my room and never fucking leaving it, as much as I love that, talking about 2013 when we all first met each other, God, how long ago that was. Me becoming friends with you guys, with everyone in our group of friends, and just talking about, like, a lot of people have moved on, obviously, but talking about what I really liked and understanding why other people liked it, and then introducing them to it and seeing how they reacted to what I like, and seeing if they liked it, seeing if they didn't like it, and figuring that out, is so much more fun. Yeah. Which is really the point of Slow Loop. Like, it's cutesy, slice of life, but there's a lot more there. And I know you haven't watched past episode 4, but it really continues that trend, and it actually, solves issues like it's 2 different family members becoming one family. Like, it's way more interesting than you expect. Yeah. So I really didn't expect you to bring up Slow Loop, because I don't think anybody's watched Slow Loop.
I know.
I really like Slow Loop.
Watching this, so
if you made a video on it, it'd probably fail. You'd have to title it like fucking anime girl fucking does 9/11 too. Fucking like that's
Oh
the
my
only way
God.
you have to like just clickbait people into it. That's the only way you're getting people to watch a video about Slow Loop.
Yeah.
But Slow Loop was good, so
Yeah.
you should watch it. I recommend it. You should finish
Yeah,
it.
like even Kevin, it's the kind of show that I think even Kevin would like. Where
Oh, I think Kevin like it. I think
Yeah.
Kevin would like it.
Yeah.
I mean, just from the way you're discussing it, it sounds like Eurocamp fishing, but then there's more family dynamics within the characters.
I love Eurocamp. Slow Loop is a better show if you're looking for
Yeah, I would
more
agree.
interesting character character solutions to problems.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Eurocamp, it's just friends hanging out. This, it's like, I guess we're friends because we're kind of forced into this situation.
Yeah,
and they have to
yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah, like Eurocamp
Technically,
is
aren't they
like-
sisters? Right?
They're technically sisters, yeah.
They are, yes. Yeah.
It's really fucking cute too.
It is,
really
and
fucking
the
cute.
like the white silver-haired girl that comes in around episode 2, she's pretty great as well. Like the dynamic with her father, and like he's like fishing obsessed, but she fucking hates it. Well, not she doesn't hate it, but you know, it's like she pushes it so much onto her that it just is. It's such a good show for like character dynamics between different ages and different like family relations. It's a really good show from what I've seen. I'm definitely going to go back and complete it because I haven't been doing that too much recently with my anime, which is fucking sad and awful.
Yeah.
And I feel terrible.
Yeah, so you sound like an anime fan. That's what most of them do.
Yeah, start
Most of
something
them-
and never come back to it. Yeah.
Well, they talk. They're just like, I'm an anime fan, and it's like, so what have you watched?
That is the life.
Hey, Kevin, you're an anime fan. What have you watched?
I've seen Ranking of Kings.
Oh, okay.
Bro.
I actually.
I mean, this
haven't-
season
I
I haven't been
actually
watching
haven't-
anything besides like Titan, and then
Oh,
I want to
makes sense.
I want to watch the the Marine Kitagawa show. I mean, you can't avoid that. That's just like it's unavoidable. But yeah, I've been watching Ranking of Kings, and that is surprisingly. Now it got popular now towards the back end, but like I didn't hear many people talking about it during the season it was airing, which was like 2 seasons ago. During
Yeah,
like
no.
I just remember at the
last
start,
end of
there was that
2021.
There was that fight scene that people were tweeting about a lot in the Sakuga community, but yeah, besides that, in the beginning, I don't think really anyone was talking about it. Yeah.
It wasn't because it looks like it's got a Disney aesthetic fairy tale, so it just looks like, oh, this is going to be like a safe Disney playbook where like just fairy tale things happen. There's like no grounded or realistic characters. There's no like great questions or anything. But surprisingly, I watched like me and Russ both watched this until like episode 2, and then they introduced this character, which is just like I can't really explain it without like people. You just have to look at what the character looks like. It's just like a dark shadow, and it's a person, kind of, right?
Oh yeah, I've seen.
It's
them,
not
yeah.
anthropomorphic. It's just a dark shadow, and like he has this backstory with his mom about how he became like, or sorry, how he was abandoned. Not abandoned. His mom got killed by like some of the royal guards, and so
Yeah.
he had to live out for himself. And then he was a nice kid, and then he grew up to be like a bandit, kind of.
Yeah.
But like that obviously wasn't his fault. And then he befriends Boji, the main character who's deaf, and they actually have like a really wholesome and relationship with each other. And it's like I didn't expect the show to become like actually emotionally resonant with its characters, because if you look from the outside, it doesn't seem like that. It seems like just like a normal fantasy setting, if anything.
Yeah.
But then the
Bro,
show
you
is
say
actually
he's-
like
you said he's deaf.
the king. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a silent voice reference?
What do you mean? What the fuck? What?
It's called a joke, Mr. Kevin. Yeah.
Kevin, I was going to ask you actually, because you've obviously watched further than me, because we stopped. Well, I never replied to your message, unfortunately, so we kind of stopped watching it. But you went on and continued it. And did they ever go back? You know, Kage was like from that Shadow Thieves or whatever the fucking name of his like the group of
The
people.
clan, yeah. I
clan.
forgot what that was.
Did they ever actually go back and explain like that the backstory of him again past that? Because they only really did it once, that one time when they did that whole episode dedicated to him, and just sort of going back to what you just explained, basically. But are they actually like inherently evil, that group, or are they just like misunderstood? You know what I mean? Because even like the snake charmer, I remember when he found the shadow Kage, like around the castle, he was like, "I know your group. I know what you do." Like he said it in a way that they're known for being bad, and I was just wondering if they ever revisited that at all.
No, so yeah, it's interesting. They're not like inherently bad. They're just seen as a normal group of people, but because of like, how do I explain it? Like the way they're built, right? Because they're like a shadow that can just move through in the darkness, so it inherently makes them strong, be like hiding in the shadows. So naturally, they're hired for jobs for assassination, just because that is their skill set, to like kill people while they're in the shadows.
Right, yeah.
So they're not inherently evil. Like all of them just have normal families and everything, but their jobs, like their skill set just means it's better for them to be an assassin, a hired assassin, than to like do anything else.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
but how far have you seen through Ranking of Kings?
I haven't watched it yet. That's why I'm not saying anything.
Okay, I haven't watched it.
I was going.
So you know
to
the premise?
Because, yeah, I was interested in it, and I did plan to watch. I usually do watch most anime every. I watch like 20 shows a season most of the fucking time, but for some reason I sat down, I downloaded the first episode. I mean, I watched it on Crunchyroll.com. I didn't use a torrenting client. I sat down to watch it, and then I didn't. And I watched other stuff instead because I realized there was episode 2's out, and I never got back to it. I am interested in watching it. And I've had a lot of people talk to me about it, and they're always like, "Glenn, you're such a fucking loser. You haven't watched it yet?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
No, it's a really good show. I mean, it's by Wit, right? So it's animated really well, just throughout everything.
That's what Wit Studio does, yeah.
Yeah, and then the characters, right? I forgot if we've seen up to this part or not, Russ, because I forgot where we stopped. But like, you know, Boji's stepmother, right? You know how Boji's original birth mother died like in the past. I won't spoil that, but she's not there, obviously.
Yeah, the giant.
She's not there. She died because of whatever. I'm not gonna say.
Yeah.
And so the king remarries into a stepmother, and like literally in like almost every piece of media I've seen, the stepmother is always seen as this like manipulative, evil person or whatever, not right?
Yeah.
And but
Snow White. Yeah.
They redeem her. Like she seems cold at first. Like she's like, oh, Boji is not my favorite son because they're not blood related. So like she obviously favors her actual blood related son. But she's actually a really caring person later on when you see like all the other interactions. And I thought that was very interesting because you don't see like stepmothers normally in a good light in fiction.
Every step parent ever is a bad person, is what media tells me.
Yeah, basically.
Especially
and then
in,
this
like,
one was just
fairy
like
tale stories, like what this is trying to like emulate, kind of, or take some of the elements and styles and themes from. You know, you would never see the stepmother as a good thing because they're always like Hansel and Gretel. You know, like fucking the stepmother comes along, she's like, throws.
It's literally a story like Cinderella.
Yeah, like all of them. Like they're bad. Stepmothers are bad. So yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah, it is interesting how they played that.
And yeah, Ranking of Kings is just like you already know. The only like pure-hearted good character is the king because he's like, you know, he's a kid, he's deaf, and he's just like, you know, you want everything to work out for him because he's a good boy. But every other character is like morally gray. They've done some like bad things in the past, and then some evil characters can do good things as well. It's just like it's all great, honestly.
Yeah.
And then they like expand on the world a lot after like the midpoint, because I remember now where we watched Russ. So we watched until like Boji did his training because he couldn't fight a sword to save his life. But after the training, they expand on the world of like the other, because it's called Ranking of Kings, right? So there's a lot of kings around the world, and they basically rank the kings based on how strong they are. So Boji's father is currently the first ranked king, and so they just travel around the world and see like who is going to become the number one ranked king in the world, if that makes sense. That's why it's called Ranking of Kings.
Right. Yeah, because it was confusing in that regard, because they like brought it up very briefly when the king died and like they had to redo the test to decide the ranking, and then the he like came really low, but it was, it's good that they took that direction, or it's interesting that they took that direction, because I had almost completely forgotten about that, to be honest. From where I got up to.
So not only got great action, it's actually emotional at a lot of points. Like any relationship between like Boji and his stepmother, I'm just like, I love this. This is great, honestly. So yeah, go watch it. I can't spoil anything else.
Attack on Titan, now that shit slaps.
Kinda. This one's better.
What did you think of the final season? You don't have to go into any. I haven't finished the final season, actually. I'm very close though.
You've seen the first half?
I've seen the first.
We're talking about the second half, right? Yeah. I mean, I think we gotta just
the most
kind of.
Why'd they have to call it the final season part 2? The final season part, like, I fucking hate.
Yeah, just call it season 4 and then season 5. Like,
I hate everybody who names anime sequels. There is actually something functionally wrong. Like, I feel as though they hired one guy for every anime sequel, and they were like, this is the guy. He knows what he's doing. And it's like, working season 2, huh? Let's put a little slash. Working season 3? 3 exclamation points. It's like, there's no consistency ever. I fucking hate everything.
Yeah.
I know, you just call it season 1, 2, 3. It doesn't matter.
No, I refuse. The final season part 0, Kevin.
The final season epilogue,
you know? I am talking about the most recent season, which is the final season part 2. So I saw the first half of that. The first half. I'm making it so confusing by saying the first half of part 2 final season.
Oh my god.
But that is
can you just explain what part what ep you got up to, so I don't like spoil the eps past that? The most recent ep, you remember?
The brothers have a moment.
Oh, I remember. It's the fucking time travel.
Yeah. That is the last episode I watched, and I stopped. I was watching it weekly, and then I was like, I'm gonna take a break, because I watched that episode, and I thought to myself, this is so fucking stupid. I was
fine. It didn't change that much.
No. When I'm saying it's stupid, I don't mean it in a bad way. Attack on Titan has always been a masterclass at lacking subtlety and just doing things weirdly. Like, I like Attack on Titan, I really do. I don't like the beginning. I think Attack on Titan season 1 is balls. But I think after that, Attack on Titan actually did become a much more interesting series, which is why I feel like a lot of people dropped off or started calling it stupid, because it does some silly stuff, but Attack on Titan was never about doing things well and doing it subtly. It was about telling the story that the guy wanted to tell, and it's a fucking weird-ass story at the end.
Yeah, kind of. I don't agree with season 1 being boring. I'm like, I don't think so.
If you rewatch season 1 and think that shit is good, I don't know.
I think it's just entertaining. It's okay, Glen.
I'm just throwing it out there. I just think you're stupid.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Everyone who enjoyed season 1, you're all dumb.
I mean, I watched season 1. I wouldn't say season 1 was, I wouldn't say it was very good.
It's just straight up like humanity against monsters. That's it, and it's just really good action, and it's just entertaining. This is what it is. It's just a popcorn flick. Season 1.
I wouldn't call it really good action, to be honest with you.
It is. It's all right. It doesn't matter.
What determines good action? No, it does matter. We're on a podcast. Let's have a conversation. What determines good action?
I mean, oh my god, this is a lot of things. Right? Characters, execution, the way the story is told.
There's a lot of different things, that you can equate.
If
why Attack on Titan is good.
If I were to explain what the appeal to me, the appeal of the first season to me specifically is that Attack on Titan created this world where it's really simple to understand. It's just humans versus giant monsters, right? But then it created the atmosphere and tone where like almost everybody except for the main characters obviously could like die at any moment. Like even from episode 1, his mom dies, right? That's a significant moment already, and it's like, okay, no one is really safe besides the main 3, and throughout the entire show, like basically like a lot of characters die that you meet of the supporting cast, obviously.
You see, I agree with that in the later seasons, but you say that at the beginning, and at the beginning it's like, here's these characters you knew for 10 minutes. Oh my god, anybody could die. No.
And that isn't what makes good action, is it? Like the fact that
I understand what you're trying to say.
It makes it more grounded. Like there's more stakes, if that makes sense, right?
But there is no stakes. It's people you barely know or care about. They're barely characters. Like in the first season of Attack on Titan, all the people who died, were they around longer than a few episodes, or even if they were around for that many episodes, were they more than just in the background or said like one sentence one time? Like, that's what I mean. I disagree wholeheartedly. Now in the later seasons,
we're gonna compare it to like more other shonens, right? For their first seasons.
I'm not
Attack on
comparing
Titan.
it. You're the one who's about to compare it.
Yeah, we should compare it because it is a shonen for the first season. That's why the first season of Attack on Titan is still like more entertaining than any other first season of any other shonen, like My Hero Academia and Demon Slayer, where I'm just like, okay, we've got like, I forgot to mention that like, basically the comedy is really like only at certain moments where like there's it's not during the serious moments where it's interspliced in comedy, where like Demon Slayer or My Hero Academia does, where it like just breaks the flow of like the tone it's going for. Because we all know, like, I almost call this, like, almost Marvel humor now. Like, you have something serious, and it's like, oh, you gotta break that flow. Like, go, haha, he's insert joke here, you know, everybody laugh. It's just like, I don't need that. People, you see that in more, like, later fiction, like, film series now, where it's just like, there's always that, you have to have a joke for some reason at, like, this moment, just because, you know, keep the audience light and entertained. I do remember a specific quote, actually, from, oh my god, I'm going on a tangent here, but you know the Batman, the most recent one by Matt Reeves.
Yeah, I'll pretend I saw it for the sake of the conversation.
Sure. The point is, you've basically heard a lot of people say that it's like, I've seen it as well, and I believe this to be true, that it's a dark take on Batman. Like, it's a film noir dark aesthetic with like minimal jokes, right? Batman is like a detective in like say a crime thriller film like Seven or The Zodiac Killer, something like that.
Okay.
I saw a fucking influencer, I'll name them, on their opinion of the Batman, right? And then it just like boggles my mind how they've been brainwashed by Marvel to think that like their criticism of the film was just like, oh yeah, I didn't really like it because it didn't have much like her jokes, say, for something like the Suicide Squad or something like that. I'm just like, holy shit, bro. You're actually brainwashed by Marvel. This is crazy. Martin Scorsese was right. Marvel films are not films.
They're not.
Oh my god.
I'm a Martin Scorsese believer.
But if Martin Scorsese watched the Batman, he would say this is cinema. That's the point. So
this is cinema. Okay.
Yeah.
So Attack on Titan sucked in the first season, yeah?
It didn't. I'm just saying it's entertaining. It's entertaining. It's got stakes. It's not like this just normal generic shonen.
But
It's
what's
completely different. What stakes? I just mean more characters can die in the.
Were
in
they
the thing.
characters though? I don't know.
They are actually technically characters. Yes.
I could write any series, and in the second episode, write in a character named Kevin Russell, and kill them in the first 10 minutes, and then say I have stakes. Like, I don't get it.
I mean, I don't think it's just like that.
I can agree with that stakes later, but we're talking about the first season of Attack on Titan. Like, I think the later seasons, I like the later seasons of Attack on Titan a whole lot more, and
I mean, yeah, season 3 is my favorite season. Like, season 3 part 2, that whole thing was great.
It was. I would say it was. And I'm not saying that the first season of Attack on Titan brought down the rest of it. It didn't. I'm just saying that I thought it was worse and didn't have as good a direction. And
are you one of those people who think season 2 was better than season 1?
I think both were pretty bad, to be honest with you.
But like the reason why I understand basically why season 1 popped off. Well, season 2 everyone was a snooze fest because that was basically me. Season 2 was more like a mystery horror. I'm just like, this is not why I watch Attack on Titan. Like, I'm just bored out of my mind, kind of, until like the very end.
Okay.
That's when I left season 2. I remember.
Yeah, no, season 2 is boring. So season 2 is so boring.
It was. I found it more interesting than season 1, but it was more boring. It 100% was. Because the thing is, Attack on Titan Season 1, the reason I like the later seasons is because, I keep using this word, I thought they were more interesting. I thought there was more going on. Season 1 was kind
I do
of...
like the later seasons more.
No, I know, but you're saying there's stakes, and I'm like... It's similar to a Marvel movie, it's like... Or even like Game of Thrones, it's like anybody can die, anything
But
can
a Marvel
happen,
movie,
but
no
it's
one
like-
dies. Literally no one dies.
But that's what I mean, is like... There's nothing... These stakes are just in your head, more than actually put there by the show, because, I mean... I don't know. Attack on Titan Season 1 was just the generic action picture that thrived on vulgarity, carnality, and this kind of sensuous appeal of action. And the action fucking sucked. So I don't understand why it was that popular. There were some scenes where it was like, this is good. But for the most part, like 17 episodes of Attack on Titan Season 1 are boring as fuck. It's just
I think we're just not gonna agree.
Yeah,
I
this is
see.
gonna go around and around. I have a feeling.
And you asked me about my, and this is sort of like a roundabout way of like what did I think of season 4. Obviously, season 4 just like the entire last season is just basically. It's just expanding of like what the point of Attack on Titan was. Like the entire point of the whole show is just like, all right, war is bad, genocide is bad. Obviously, I don't know how like 51% of people agreed with Aaron. Like that's just your all anime fans are actually just stupid, right? Like if you don't, people hated Gabby. I mean, it makes sense, right? Why people hates Gabby because they hated like Joffrey for like the same reason. But like that's the point of the character, right? They did something bad, so you don't like their actions, but that doesn't make them a bad character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
And yeah, Gabby is actually like grew to be one of my favorite characters in AOT because like she represents what the point of the show is. Like after season 3 to season 4, it's like, okay, you were showing the horrors of warfare and how the cycle of war will continue no matter what if people keep wanting revenge, yada yada. And then Isayama just introduces like a time travel element which like makes the story more like twisty and complicated, which like I don't mind that, but the overall theme is like just makes sense to me. It's not as subtle in any way, so I don't understand how fans just don't understand what it's doing.
That's where media discussion becomes interesting. You have the stupid people and the smart people, right? Everybody's wrong except for me.
It's true. It's true.
The thing is, I'm not even trying to say people who enjoyed season, because I watched season 1. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. I'm just saying I thought it wasn't that good. But I'll end it there. But I'll just try to dive deeper into it. I'll just try to dive deeper into why exactly season 1 is considered so fucking good. And
I understand it. It's just entertaining. It's just really entertaining.
But it isn't though.
I mean, to you, sure.
Let's leave it there. I feel like,
to you.
When Glen said that, I feel like the cycle was starting again. I was about to repeat itself.
Yeah, I was like, oh. Oh no.
Apologies for talking about anime on the anime podcast, fellas.
That's fine. We had an Attack on Titan talk. That's the part where people will listen to.
See, that's why that's what I like. The core idea I was trying to get at is I like talking about Attack on Titan because I find it interesting. I think there's a lot of stuff that can actually be said about it. I don't think it's particularly a super good show or anything, but I think anything that can make me have a conversation like that is good. Because there's so many varying degrees of what determines what's good. In the same way,
I mean, any show that just introduces conversation that you can talk about it in like a different way is still better than like a show that is just boring but then like doesn't do anything.
It's like talking about the other popular stuff like My Hero Academia, Kimetsu no Yaiba. Boku no Hero Academia. I don't feel like there's anything to talk about. I've watched both and I'm like, I try to talk to somebody because they really like it, and I'm never going to bring anybody down for liking what they like and being passionate. I love when people love the stuff they love and they can talk about it. But when I try to talk to them about these particular pieces of media, these two particular fucking anime, it's like I'm talking to a fucking wall. It's like, why do you like Kimetsu no Yaiba? Oh, Nezuko Kuni. And I'm like, cool, I guess. Like, fucking... Or they're just like, I love the comedy, and I'm like, well, I just think you're a terrible person now.
Oh my God.
It's just, they bring up the most superficial of elements, while Attack on Titan, I think, is a popular media that's actually interesting to talk about.
Wait, Russ, you've seen Demon Slayer. Have you seen My Hero Academia?
I have not seen Demon Slayer, Kevin.
Wait,
Actually, I
you,
should
wait, you
probably reveal
haven't?
that, but
You
yeah,
made a video on Demon Slayer.
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck?
He just got exposed. He got exposed. Cut it out. Cut out what I just
exposed
said.
me there. God damn.
Wait, so have you seen My Hero
we'll pretend
Academia?
there's
I don't
other.
remember.
I've seen like maybe 2 episodes of My Hero Academia, but I got so disinterested. I was just like, this is not why I watch anime, and I just closed it. Like, I was just done after that. So, to be fair, I really don't watch that much shonen, like, at all. I can't even think of the last one I actually watched. It must have been a very long time ago.
You probably watched a shonen that you didn't realize was a shonen, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Because the word shonen is so useless, honestly.
Yeah, it doesn't really mean much,
it doesn't
does
really
it?
reflect any actual meaning at this point. Like,
I mean, yeah, I just use
does,
shonen
but-
as like, it means demographic, but I don't use it as the term demographic. I mean shonen the genre. That's what I mean when I say shonen.
yeah, sure. Understand.
Just so it's easy. I don't care about the fucking demographic. I don't care who the intended audience is. They can go fuck themselves, right? I don't care.
Yeah, of
Let me
course.
watch it and be like, what is the genre? It's a shonen.
Go,
Okay.
Go off, Ken. Did you watch anything else from last season, either of you?
No.
I don't think you. Yeah,
I
neither,
didn't
neither of
actually.
you did.
No, just I
It-
saw
yeah,
the
it-
ranking and
It was from last season. I don't remember what was
well-
showing last season then.
If I had to tell you what I considered the best show of last season, it would be between Sono Bistal, the show that you haven't
Oh, wait,
watched
that's-
yet,
wait.
but you've pretty
Oh
much
wait, we're in
watched
the new
through
season now.
clips.
God damn it, that's now season. Yeah.
When I'm talking about last
was so
season, I'm
confused.
talking about winter 2022, because literally the first show of spring 2022 just aired. And guess what? We'll make an episode on that. Probably not, though. I'm sure. I don't trust us to do another episode.
now
Not
we
within 5
fucking
months.
will. We will.
Okay,
I'm making
if you say so. I'm literally never the problem. I'm always down to
You're
talk
not,
about
you're
anime.
not.
I'm never the problem. I'm a perfect human being. But another perfect human being is Marine and Sono Bistal.
I mean,
Actually,
yeah,
the perfect creation. She's perfect because you know there would actually never be a woman as good as Marine.
in real life, yeah, exactly. You know
It's
they made
impossible.
it.
It's impossible to be that person.
She's got the bod, she's got the golden ratio figure, and in her personality is that she likes lewd things. So it's like, okay, what?
She's
It's
intelligent.
perfect.
Her personality goes deeper than that, Kevin. How dare you insult my
I haven't
wife?
seen it. Didn't insult her. I just haven't seen the show yet.
I'm just messing.
I've basically seen the show through osmosis, basically.
You've jerked off to her a few times. That's most people. I get it. I actually think I won't talk about it now because you haven't seen it, but I think it's unbelievably an actually good show. And there's actually things to talk about. It's not just romantic comedy. It's not just girl cosplays and she's hot. There's much more there. And then Sabuki Bisco would probably be the other show for best of last season my favorite of last season. It's between Sono Bistal, Sabuki Bisco, the last season of Attack on Titan, which I never thought I'd say. I never thought I'd say that, especially when I watched the first season of Attack on Titan in
What, it'd been
2013.
good? Yeah, it's actually good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
No, I know. I'm saying that's why I'm saying it. But that and fantasy. What was it? Fantasy by Shoujo Jiniku Oji-san, which you might not know the name of the show. I'm trying to. I don't even think it has. The English name's like really long. Like it was. I think like a direct translation of that was like an ordinary guy gets reincarnated into a fucking hot girl, basically.
Yeah,
And that is the
you
concept.
actually basically got it. That is
Yeah,
the English
that
title.
is the concept of the show, that a guy gets reincarnated. It's an isekai. 2 guys get reincarnated. One of them's just completely the same, but he's just a cool guy that everybody likes. And his other friend, who's a loser, i.e. my self-insert, gets turned into a super attractive girl because that's what he wished. And then they start to like fall in love with each other. It's super good, and I don't know if that many people watched
His
it.
friend was actually gay then?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, that's the best then. If you have a gay
Yeah.
friend and then they become, their body just becomes a girl, you would that's literally like,
Yeah,
I'm,
it's
I'm,
like
I'm gonna
Kevin.
kiss my bro.
I wish I could be a hot girl so I could suck your cock. I wish I could, because I know you wouldn't let me suck your cock as I currently am. But if I became this girl, you totally would have let me suck your cock.
Yeah.
It is a hilarious show. I really liked it, and I think that's it. I think from last season. There's other shows I watched, obviously, because I'm a fucking loser, but those are the best ones. Oh yeah, there was one that I think you might actually like, Tokyo 24ku, which is another show I don't know if many people watched.
It's pretty low down. It's almost as low down as Slow Loop on the rankings.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool show, but for the most part, last season there was a lot of like, there was a lot of shows, and when you watch them, you're like, man, this isn't very good. Those kinds of shows. But there were some
when I
winners.
when I looked at last season, it was mostly just like, obviously there's the popular Son of Bistol, and then there was AOT, and I was like, alright, I'll just watch Attack on Titan because that's really I'm only interested in, and then I'll just watch like my backlogs really. Like I don't need to watch anything else unless it becomes like really, and unless it's super good. But next season though, we got two things I'll be watching. I'm hyped for.
Let me guess.
You know what it is?
Let me guess. Kaguya-sama. And oh god, is it Shield Hero? You didn't watch Shield Hero,
No.
did you?
He
You
did
hate
watch
Shield
Shield
Hero.
Hero.
He
He hates
Russ,
Shield
don't say
Hero.
he did. We did. When you mean we did.
Yeah, I know. I was saying he did because you dropped out and I had to watch the last episode by myself.
See, another case of you being stupid and me being smart. Shield Hero's good.
Okay. Wait, that was a joke, right? That was a joke?
No, I love Shield Hero.
No.
I love
No.
Shield Hero.
I think it has a
mean-
lot of potential.
I like Raftalia. I like Philo. Everything else can
great.
die.
Philo's
Everything else I don't care about. I like the raccoon girl and the
Okay.
bird.
All right, jerk off to her and never talk to me again. Okay. Komi-san?
I didn't watch. I didn't watch.
Oh
the
wait,
first
Spy
season.
X Family? Is that it?
Yeah, it's Spy X Family.
You know that's Shonen Jump, right?
Yeah, but I mean that doesn't mean anything.
No, I know it doesn't, but I was just letting you know because we just 10 minutes ago you were like, we talked about it, and I was like, it's interesting because I said like there's not many things that are interesting in Shonen Jump, especially nowadays, because it's just a lot of reiteration. And Spy X Family does have some of that, but Spy X Family, is
It just
different,
does.
at least.
It just didn't sound like a shonen, like a typical
No,
shonen.
I mean,
it's like
yeah, of
underdog
course, that's
character.
well, yeah, that's what I mean. Is like that's why Shonen.
That's why
has
I'm like,
become,
I'm like,
a
okay,
super
I'll watch
useless
this. I'll watch this. Yeah. I mean, Kaguya is self-explanatory.
word. Yeah,
Probably-
Kaguya's amazing. Kaguya's great.
I'll
adapting.
give this question to Russ actually.
Yes.
Russ, out of all the rom-coms you've seen in anime, how would you rank this? Like, what are your top three? Where would Kaguya rank as a series
Tonikaku
of for rom-coms?
Kawaii, Kaguya-sama, and Snafu, or Origairu.
Wait, so Tonikaku is your favorite rom-com then?
Tonikaku is my favorite, yeah. It is.
Interesting.
Wow, he has his
But-
profile picture as Tonikaku Kawaii, and you're like, I don't know, is that your favorite? I don't know.
Yeah. It's been like that for a while.
Social
since I watched the-
cues, baby.
Since I watched the OVA.
I mean, hey, I mean, my profile picture's been Rena for like 8 years, right?
Yeah,
but she's
you
not
wanna
like my
figure
top
out shit.
one. She's not like top one. Doesn't mean just because you have a profile picture of them doesn't mean it's your top one. It just means
You
you
don't
like
know
the
that.
character a lot.
Maybe, potentially.
I
What
hope
if-
that
what if
you,
what if I hate the characters I put on my profile picture?
Then you're a contrarian. And you die. You should die.
I'm a little. I do a little bit of trolling.
Yeah, I hope that you watch Tony, or I presume Glen's seen it, maybe he hasn't, but Kevin,
I've watched
I hope
it,
you
it's good.
watched. I hope you watch Tonikaku Kawaii when the second season comes out, because it is genuinely like, I think it's as good as Kaguya. Obviously, maybe other people don't. In fact, I imagine the majority of people don't. But it's so, sorry, it's so genuinely like wholesome to watch the perspective of them actually liking each other. Like the two characters actually falling in love and marrying and getting married.
Can't relate. I've never liked a woman, and she's never liked me.
You like anime women. You like anime women.
I do like the anime woman. That's true.
Exactly. You've fallen in love with an anime woman before. I know you have. I'll be there for the marriage. Don't worry, Glen.
Thanks, man.
I'll support you when you get married to whoever you choose. But yeah.
She might be a little bit young.
Oh god.
Oh god. Cut that out.
Yeah, I think I'm out. Yeah, I'll take that back. Actually.
Just beep that.
Yeah.
So we were saying Tonikaku Kawaii is like a more wholesome rom-com where it goes past like the normal typical like anime relationships.
It does, yeah, because they're actually married, and Tsukasa is just like a blessing on Earth. In fact, I think she's not from this Earth. At least that's what they're hinting from, because they keep showing the moon, and it's like kind of like that relates to the. I think in some way it does relate to like what's the Japanese fairy tale that involves the moon?
Oh no.
The Japanese fairy tale that involves someone. It involves like a. Is it Kaguya? Is it the tale?
No, Kaguya is the bamboo shoot. I think it's the moon as well, actually. It's the bamboo shoot. No, Kaguya, the tale of Princess Kaguya is the bamboo shoot.
There's just some sort of tie-in with some Japanese like story with
the folklore.
KevinNyaa as well. Yeah, and no, it's just like everything about it. Like, the comedy is on point to the same level as Kaguya is. Like I feel like it's visually engaging comedy and it does interesting stuff. But then also it's just damn cute, and I'm fully there for it because, like I said, Tsukasa's just great, and I'm sure Glen loves the lolly character that's in ToniKaku Kawaii, the one that runs the inn.
What are you trying to say, bro?
You know what I'm trying to say.
What are you trying to say? Say it in your words. Say it in English.
I think you like.
Say it.
I think you like. No, I'm not gonna say it because I don't want us to get. No, I'm not saying it.
What do you think's gonna happen if you say it? What were you gonna say?
I think someone will knock down my door probably, but maybe not. Maybe it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like her.
Yeah, I thought you would. She's pretty great, and like I don't like. I can't really think beyond the OVA because that's the most recent thing I've seen, but I just remember it being good, and I'm so excited for season 2, which I think is in the summer, but I might be wrong. Anyway, I guess I can talk about one other thing if you want me to, or we can wrap it up here.
No, talk, brother.
Yeah, because I have been rewatching one of my absolute favorite shows.
Oh, let's go! I know what it is. I was like, yes. What is this?
Kevin knows what it is. I have been watching The Pet Girl of Sakura So, which
such a banger.
But you didn't name it as one of the top 3 rom-coms just now, because it is technically a rom-com.
It is, but the reason why I didn't, I guess, or maybe it just didn't come to mind. That's probably the actual answer. But no, the reason why I think I didn't is because I don't really like it because of the romance or the comedy elements. It's more about how it spoke to me at the time I was watching it at a very crucial period of my life. Because I watched Sakura So when I was about, I want to say 16 or 17. And that message of learning how to deal with failure that constantly runs, well, it hits sort of in the second half. It's so important, I feel, it was very important to my younger self, because I had fucked up a lot at that age and missed opportunities and stuff, and I just sort of learning to like how it teaches you to learn. Well, it doesn't really teach you, but how it presents dealing with failure is very important, and the also sort of surrounding yourself with people that you like, which is a theme that not a lot of people talk about with Sakura So, but building a friend group that's generally there to support you and make you be your best is very important to have. And I didn't have that when I was 17. I have it now through you guys, but seeing Sakura So was very important. You think? Yes. Yeah.
I'm just here for the money.
Yeah, okay.
I'm here for the free hotels.
A free hotel.
But no. Okay. Yeah, that's basically similar reason as well. My one is, yeah, especially like the theme of fail. I think everyone brings that up because it's like, it's just that it hits so hard with like especially Nanami's character, right? That's why like Nanami's character is like, she's just straight up the best in that, even though at every turn, if I remember correctly, the story always like puts her down. She like fails her audition, fails doing this, fails doing that. Mashiro is like seen as like this super talented girl that can like almost do anything.
Yeah.
And it's just like she compares herself to like a super talented person, which you shouldn't do.
Yeah. But I will say, like, Sheena has grown on me a lot more the second time I watched. Like, I was with you, Kevin. I remember when I made my Sakura So review back in the day, I was like, Nanami is best girl, and she still is, I think. But Sheena is also a very interesting and good character. Like, she's like perfect at everything, but she doesn't really understand how to
social cues. It's just social interaction, basically.
She's failing in her own way. Life is a
that
series
is it.
of
Sakuroso is like is a show full of people that are like, at least at the start, have failed in some way, and
everybody fails. Life is a series of failures, but everybody fails in their own unique way. That's what makes us all different, right? And then
and that's why you can't compare yourself to other people, because your challenges are different.
Of course. Sakuroso spins all of these failures into kind of a benign tale of human vulnerability, and then celebrates that vulnerability. And that's kind of what it was all about, with a side of hot anime girls and cute dudes and funny stuff. It was just a really well put together just show in general. I love Sakuroso, and there's so much more to talk about. Like, even just talking about specifically failure, which is obviously a big point. There's so many other aspects to it, because it wasn't always about that. It was about celebrating not only failure, but success. It's okay when you succeed to fail as well. It's okay to succeed, fail, you know what I mean? Where you're like, you did well, but you still fucking sucked. That sort of thing, you know?
Yeah.
I love Sakuroso. Nanami's so hot, too. It's been so long since I've thought about I want to rewatch it now, actually. I always think that whenever I see like a GIF or an image or anything, or someone just even says the name, I'm always like, oh god, I need to rewatch that, which just kind of highlights how good it is. Because there's a lot of shows that I really like, but I never think immediately to myself, I need to rewatch that. Sakuroso, I do.
Yeah, Sakuroso is one of those shows. Whenever like someone brings it up, I always remember like the openings and EDs, and it's like, oh, it just gives me that warm and fuzzy feeling of like a feel good show. I'm just like, I can watch. It's like, this is like a comfort show basically. It's one of those comfort shows for me.
Yeah.
I remember actually.
I remember your review, Kevin. You had one, didn't you? So long ago.
Oh. That was really long ago. But I mean, that was one like...
It was an AMV, wasn't it? You have an AMV for...
I mean, I review and an AMV, yeah, sure.
Hey, that's
how much I liked it.
Videos.
Oh my god.
That AMV
is
golden material. It's good.
I mean, it's basically a time capsule of when I was like 17, 16, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I remember talking to you about that AMV, and you were like, damn, AMVs are hard. I have to cut so many times. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was when you literally like the first year of like editing, like self-taught editing. So I was like, I might as well try and make one.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I was saying when the first time I watched Sakuroso, I remember giving it a 10 actually. I wouldn't give it a 10 now, but like at the time it was like, oh my god, it hit me like that hard that I just like, this is straight up a 10 out of 10 show for me for that time or in that moment in my life, because pretty sure you guys noticed, so this is more similar for the audience, but like I was basically like a straight A student, right? I mean, I'm Asian, good at maths. If you don't get an A, you get backhanded, right?
Yep.
Blah blah blah. All that good stuff. I can say that.
You spawned as the good race.
But yeah, during watching Sakuroso, I remember I had this physics test. It was like last year of high school as well. I remember going to a physics test, and I was taught basically to believe that like if you're a smart student, then you don't need to study, right? You're basically like confident in your own abilities, so like you don't even prepare for the test anymore. Yeah. And so like I was
school kind of morphs that into you. School,
yeah, I was like
if you're succeeding, they never push you to do better, which is a failure of the schooling system.
I was like that overly confident because the physics was like, oh, I should know how to do this, like everything, even though like it was like a topic that like I didn't really know. I was like, oh, I can just wing it. But then I had like a physics test that the first time I ever failed, just that one physics test, I was like, what the like, what is this? Like, it just didn't compute in my mind, right? Like, how to deal with this? Because I've never failed a test before in my life at that point.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? What? That's it? What? It felt like a dream almost. Where I was just like, this is not real.
It was college for me. I failed my first year of college really badly, even though I was a straight A student in high school. Because I realized I didn't adapt. I didn't realize that, everything isn't easy. I'm not some genius, which you knew me better.
Oh yeah, that is fucking university. Oh my god, university is just like, oh, you think you're top in the class? Nah, man, you're nothing. College is like, oh my god, humbles you basically.
I got humbled really fucking hard. You knew me. You guys knew me back then. I don't think I've changed much as a person, but when it came to, it's pretty make it specifically about anime, I definitely feel like I learned a lot from anime, especially after that year of college. I was like, oh fuck, man. I mean, that's just every piece of media. People find these pieces of media and they use it to reflect on their own lives and realize that, oh damn, there's more to it than just jerking off to anime girls. That sort of thing. Of course, I already was thinking that way, but I was so full of it back then. I was so fucking full of it. I don't think it reflected very well in the conversations we used to have back then, but I thought I was hot shit. So
You heard the hot shit.
I really did. I mean, especially back then, we used, at least, well, you're still doing well, but back then I used to make YouTube videos. I was a successful YouTuber back then, especially back then when like 50k YouTube subscribers was a lot.
That was a lot. That's basically like the equivalent of like 200k now or something. Like around that much.
I feel like a part of the reason I stopped is college made me realize I suck. It made me realize I'm not a smart person. I'm not a good person. There's a lot of things wrong with me. And then I stopped making YouTube videos because I realized I was like, I'm not good enough. Of course, I've gotten past that, and that was a long time ago. But anime and just whatever media you consume, whatever you like, it helps. It really does. Unless you're consuming some garbage like Kimetsu no Yaiba. I don't know what the fuck that's teaching you.
I'm not even going to defend that because I kind of agree. Fuck Demon Slayer.
So, if you're going to sit down and watch Kimetsu no Yaiba for the 24 episodes, 25 episodes that it is, sit down and watch Sakuraso instead, alright?
Good advice.
That's what we can take from him? Yes, you should do that. That's what we can take from this.
We're adults now. AniFix episode 39.
We're probably gonna have to wrap this episode up because I've got to get on a bus to Cambridge. So
very British of you.
We didn't even get to talk about the topic that you wanted to talk about.
But fuck it. Yeah.
Save it for next week, dude.
Wait, what was? Yeah. Are you talking about what I think? What we were talking?
Yeah,
about?
it's just anime YouTube in general.
We'll
but we can't do that now. We can't do that now. That is like a whole like hour about itself. I have so much to talk about that.
We will do that some other time.
Get Matt for that one. I think I'll sit that out.
Matt will never record unless you're here, Glen. He's made that.
I'll sit there and pretend. I'll pretend I'm there. Okay.
Yeah, you've got to at least pretend that you're there.
Okay.
Don't record that one without me. I have actually so much. Basically, I'm basically the only one. I'm basically the only one who's actually current with anime YouTube. Who actually talks to other people.
You are, yeah. You're our window into the scene, Kevin. So you've got to be there. Yeah. But anyway, that's that for this episode.
This is a lot of fun. I love you guys.
Yeah, it's been great.
And if you're still listening, I love you too.
Except if you watch Demon Slayer, of course.
Go off. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Mwah.